I am your moderator today, Jamie Kappelman, Vice President of Sales and Account Management for Taylor Promotional Products. And I am joined by two of my partners in crime today, Joe Whitman, who is our Director of Promotional Marketing, supporting our a lot of our program promotional clients, and Brian Mascarenas, who is our Director of our promotional agency. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for making time today. Our goal is to really walk you through a smart swag experience. The world of branded merchandise has really changed, and we want to do a good job of introducing you to seeing that shift in branded merchandise away from kind of bulk one size all fits swag, to something of a choice first, right? Easier to manage, easier to create, and a better experience for people who are receiving them. I'm sure a lot of you can think about the last time you had a swag experience, and things didn't go quite to plan. The idea today is really to walk through what the shift looks like, how we can approach how what our VOPS program is, which is our solution that we're going to be showing you today, and how it works, the benefits, top use cases and examples, so that you can see how people are utilizing it today, and then how to get started. And as we go through, I'll ask a few questions, so that we can map this and you can think about how this can apply to your use cases, how you guys are utilizing branded swag today, and what problems can we maybe solve for you regarding this technology. So traditional swag tends to create some friction points. Um, Leftover inventory, manual processes when trying to collect sizes for employees. Maybe you get low engagement when it comes to sending out gifts to clients. A lot of times there's forms involved where people have to fill out what they want. You have to guess on sizes or even preferences for clients. And that is what we consider kind of old promo, the old way of trying to replicate orders and facilitate gifting. It's just a very tough process. Smart swag is actually utilizing technology to create less waste, less admin work, and also creating an experience where people are choosing what they want, swag that people want. I'm sure a lot of you could, a lot of us could start talking about what was the most painful swag moment we've ever had. Quite frankly, we could all write a book. Um, and the idea behind Smart Swag is really around trying to create some symmetries and some add easy to swag, because it can be a difficult process, and we want to help create that for you, or we want to help eliminate those problems. So that's why we really started initiating our virtual pop-up shops. So Brian, if you go to the next slide, VOPS is our virtual pop-up solution, and it means just that. It is a virtual pop-up shop. Um, it was built on a proven pop-up model formula, right? You have a short amount of time that you need to collect orders or need to create an experience. You have a limited number of products that you want to provide to your customers and or your employees, and there's a clear theme or purpose. That's the formula for traditional pop-up shops. But what that creates is exclusivity, excitement, and ultimately connection via a online technology platform, something that is tech enabled that can utilize these pieces. In other words, something that feels intentional. It's like a moment. There's no leftover inventory. There are many, many challenges that we face in the branded merchandise sector, and virtual pop shops are here to kind of solve some of those challenges. So let's transition. Brian is actually going to show you what the experience looks like end to end. So Brian.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie. So I'm going to show you a bit of a demo here, but before we do that, I want to kind of run through the step-by-step process for what we consider a virtual pop-up shop. So obviously, it's an online storefront. You can see an example of the landing page here. What we'll do to begin with this pop-up shop is you'll share this link to your recipients, a group of people, attendees at a trade show, whoever's receiving these swags or these gifts. You can use a link or you can use a QR code to do this. And then Jamie mentioned the limited amount of time. So we generally have these pop-up shops open anywhere from 1 week to 4 weeks. We find that having an order window of about 2 weeks is the optimum amount of time for folks to be able to submit their orders and for us to be able to collect those orders. And then at the end of the shop, we accumulate all those orders and we go to a bulk production run so that we can get those economies of scale. We have the high quantities at that point. We do one production run and then we drop ship it out directly to your recipients. That could be at a residence or that could be at a office location. We try to make this as simple and easy as possible. In general, the users from start to finish when they go on the site all the way to checkout, it's about 30 seconds. So it's really easy to use and really streamlined to select your orders. And it's also mobile friendly. So it could work on phones, it could work on laptops or tablets. So I'm going to go into this demo and show you how it works. So all the landing pages are generally about the same. You can customize the banner at the top with the company logo. You could do a initiative banner, like a custom banner at the top. You can do a call to action. In this case, is for financial advisors receiving gifts for a reward. For the products themselves, we generally stick to a max of 6 products. The optimum amount of products is about 3. This gives the recipients a good amount of choice. And it also allows for us to be able to accumulate the orders over the order window of time. So as you can see, the homepage, go ahead and select right there. Say that's my gift. You just do your email address, shipping, and then the order is placed. So it's as simple as that, and then you're going to receive an email confirmation, and that is as simple as it gets. Go back to the presentation. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Joe, and he's going to tell you guys about the benefits of VOPS.
Thanks, Brian. So let's talk just a little bit more about some of the benefits that Jamie just kind of touched on. So first, hopefully you're picking up on this. Fast and easy setup, right? So let's start with speed. In the society we're in today, speed is king, and there's nothing that any of us do, whether we're ordering for ourselves or anything with business or whatever we're doing. We want it to be efficient and we want it to be fast. So we kept this in mind when we developed our VOPS platform. One of the biggest advantages of our VOPS solution is how quickly it can be launched. So, unlike other traditional, technology storefronts, this can be launched in a fraction of the time. We can get this up and going very, very quickly. And a lot of it is because it's curated products and some of the things that Brian showed you. We keep it simple, we keep it streamlined, but that means you have the ability to move quickly, pivot between your campaigns faster, and you can start engaging your audience in a meaningful way quickly. No inventory needed. This is huge because this is a lot of times a trip up, but another significant benefit is the fact that these are ordered, the products are ordered, and they are decorated and fulfilled at the time we initiate the order on your behalf from the site. So there's no need to, guess ahead of time how much you're going to need and then be, left with overstock at the end. And now what do we do? Now we have to come up with a campaign or a plan to get rid of these 50 remaining shirts or what have you. So that is eliminated. The next thing is just the order efficiency. One thing that any ordering platform must have and offer is an efficient mechanism for orders. And it really does streamline the entire process because it is technology. It requires less manual effort than probably in the way you're doing it today. And that also reduces errors, eliminates the guesswork. And since the orders are captured digitally, that comes with it a higher sense of precision, making it more accurate. So the end result is just a much, much better experience because it's removing that human element of traditionally collecting orders via a spreadsheet or things like that, or passing around an email and asking for folks' sizes and whatnot. The gift of choice is big. Jamie touched on this earlier. You know, we all like choices, and VOPS gives recipients the flexibility while also maintaining a small collection. So it's easier to make that decision. And instead of a one size fits all, like Jamie was sharing in that early slide, they can choose something they genuinely want and something that they will genuinely use. And that's a game changer, really. The product selection's curated. It will be brand approved. It will align with your brand, your guidelines. So making sure that it's streamlined and it's supportive of your brand. But it is inclusive and accessible, and it just enhances the overall experience. And then lastly, the intuitive design and how that's visually appealing. You know, there is something about going on to a slick, clean website to order product from. First of all, you're already excited, especially if it's a gifting thing or it's a celebration. You're looking forward to placing the order. So the experience should mirror that, right? The experience should be something that supports that, and it should be quick, it should be simple, and it should be easy to navigate. And as Brian just walked you through that, we've timed it. I mean, you can literally do it in a matter of milliseconds because the products are right there in front of you. It's a fast, easy checkout. And just like any storefront, the experience needs to be polished and enjoyable for the participation to go up. And that's what we find with our VOP store is that we have a lot of our clients that once they try our VOP stores, we have some that will do 15 of them a year. They just use it for all of their campaigns, and as soon as they start one and it closes, it's time for the next one. So that's just a little bit of a touch base on some of the benefits. I'll turn it back over to you, Jamie, to talk about some use cases.
Yeah, let's make this real, and talk about some of the use cases that succeed most often. VOPS works best when it's tied to a moment, an initiative, an event, a milestone. And one of the most successful use cases really is within the gifting sector. Um, Recipients can choose what they'd like for potentially a holiday gift or for a specific season or for a thank you or recognition. Especially if you want to offer apparel, sizing becomes very easy to collect, whether it's for 100 employees or for 18,000 employees, right? This technology solution can help streamline that process. I guarantee you, in you can show of hands how many times there are those of you on the line have had to manage to the lengthy Excel spreadsheet, collecting people's sizes, collecting people's addresses of where they live now that our workforce is much more dispersed. It is such a challenge. And so we want to utilize a tool that can get us away from that. And that's exactly what the VOPS platform can do. It really can solve, in this gifting space, it really can solve two issues at the same time, right? You can find the right gift for a diverse set of audiences. Personnel, employees, clients, they're all different, and not everybody likes the same thing. How many times do you feel like you've picked a gift for somebody and it's more for you than it is for the recipient? It's hard to choose. So it is super beneficial that a client can actually choose what they want from a collection of items. And then making apparel work without at volume, without that admin lift. Having somebody try to manage to a manual spreadsheet is just not conducive anymore in today. Remember, this did not have to be just for employees. This applies to client prospect gifting, where you don't want to guess what your client's preference is. That is very hard to do. And if you're able to provide them with the gift of choice, you're really just going to be that much more open in their mind of allowing them to do that. I wonder, those of you on the phone, how often do you hesitate offering apparel to employees just because sizing is a complete nightmare, right? Rhetorical question there, but just think about the times that was a major pain point, and you just didn't want to offer apparel because it's too hard to facilitate. Well, this technology can help us do that. Most clients start with employee recognition and gifting because it's the quickest win. High impact, low complexity. That's where a lot of people start utilizing this technology. Brian, let's talk about some of the top products that are utilized, that we see utilized within this space.
Yeah, definitely. So in the gifting space, what we find when we're doing these VOP shops is that apparel is by and large the most popular gift that we see in these shops. And it's to Jamie's point about the size collection. We hear all the time that, we would love to have a gift for apparel, but it's really difficult catching those sizes. So this really makes it easy to get those sizes for apparel. Quarter zips are always really popular, and fleece and soft shells we see in that category. Drinkware is probably the second top most popular gift out there. And the great part about VOP shops is you can do a category specific. So, if you want to have just a drinkware pop-up shop, you can have different types of drinkware all on the same shop, and folks can choose, if they want a tumbler this time, or maybe they want a mug next time, they can do it that way. We're seeing as an overall trend, home and desk items are really popular. Desk plants or blankets or cutting boards or charcuterie boards are always really popular for gifts. And then bags round out this selection of most popular products. We find that cooler backpacks are extremely popular because they're mobile and you can take things on the go. Weekender bags with a small compartment underneath are extremely popular as well. And then kind of hybrid gifts or hybrid bags to go from the home office to the in-person office is extremely popular for gifting. So that's just a quick snapshot. As we go through this, we're going to show you some product ideas in each category, but then we also have a larger catalog, which you can put really any product on a VOP shop at that point. So a wide variety there.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Love seeing the different product options that are out there. When we move on to the next, here's another. Company initiatives are actually a perfect application for pop-ups because each initiative can have its unique branding, its messaging, unique products. The objective here really is to just reinforce participation with a gift that drives excitement towards the initiative, drives engagement, awareness, and of course, support. Um, some of the examples you'll see on the screen here: Global Appreciation Days, company anniversaries. I like to kind of explain to people, we use the VOPS technology within Taylor ourselves, and more recently celebrated our 50th anniversary as a company. Very exciting. And we were able to offer a pop-up shop to garner engagement within employees, where people could gift to others, or also buy swag for themselves to celebrate our 50 years. And so that's always just an exciting thing, but a very simplistic pop-up shop that had its time, really allowed people to engage and support it, and then and then the site could be taken down, and there was no wasted merch, right? We didn't have to buy a bunch of stuff that ended up sitting on a shelf somewhere that people didn't use. That's a huge benefit when it comes to these specific initiatives. There's no guessing of how many things that you need. You'll see another example call out is typically there's an order deadline, right? All orders must be placed by a certain time frame. That limited window creates urgency. It helps teams actually complete the program or engage with the program. Anytime you slap a date on something, people are like, "Oh, I got to get it," right? I got to get it before that time. So that is another thing that's really great for these anniversaries or appreciations. Some really great applications within this space. The other thing that's really cool about this, and Joe mentioned it earlier, is this can be very repeatable, right? Think about all the initiatives that you have within your organization, setting up simple pop-up shops or virtual pop-up shops that can be initiated are very easy to replicate. Once you create them for one specific event, these are really popular with employee resource groups. Once you create one, you can very easily replicate it for others to continue that engagement for those specific initiatives. And it really can beef up your engagement when it comes to these types of things. So Brian, why don't you walk us through some product options that fit for this category?
Yeah, so definitely. So when we're talking initiatives, we're talking about exposure, awareness, getting the message out to, whoever's around the office or just people in the general public. We want to have products that have a nice branding, real estate area on the product itself, some full color prints, some nice decoration capabilities. You'll see in the apparel section, again, you'll notice a reoccurring theme. That's the popular product for BOPS. But we're seeing more T-shirts in this category. We're seeing more opportunities for full color prints on apparel. Headwear is really popular. Polo shirts, if you're going to wear it around the office with in this case, the 50th anniversary Taylor logo. It's a nice piece to have that exposure. And then office essentials, again, when you're around the office, when you're taking notes, you're going to meetings or going on trips. If there's a company initiative, or if you want to bring awareness to these products, office essentials are a great way to do that, and we have a variety of options in that space. Even some gift sets as well, so you have the 2-in-1, combo with that particular piece. And then totes, these are easy to give away. Everyone can use another tote, so you can never have too many totes, especially for going grocery shopping or going to different sporting events or whatnot. So we find that those are really popular, for BOPS shops in this space. Back to you, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. I like some of the graphics and the merchandise here, and I asked the question to the audience just to think about, do you have if you had an initiative like this, do you feel like people would wear things more proudly or use it every day if there were unique logos and unique artwork and branding that was that could be available to employees to use? Again, the whole purpose of smart swag is not wasteful swag, things that people will use and things that people will wear your logo and your brand proudly. That's what you want. When you put your logo on something, you want somebody to wear that proud and loud, and have it represent your organization. That's the whole purpose of what we do in this space. Um, so let's click on to the next one, and then we do have a question, and I will address that for the team and kind of play that out. So next is events. This is a unique one. We all have been there. Brought a bunch of swag to a trade show and trying to figure out how we get it all back home because we didn't give it all out, or we had umpteen boxes that we had to unbox and then box back up again. It's a very big problem when it comes to the event space. Um, VOPs can really help in a modern event strategy, create fewer boxes, but also better follow-up. There are multiple ways to utilize VOPs in the event bucket. Um, but the biggest thing I think is preventing wasted swag. None of us want to send boxes upon boxes to a trade show only to have people not take it because they don't want to travel home with it. There is there With VOPs, there's no need to carry boxes and boxes of merch. Instead, maybe a link to a VOP shop with a QR code for those qualified customers who visit your booth. They can actually go and pick an item for gear that can be shipped directly to their home as a reminder that they stopped by your booth after they came. Another really powerful event play: outfit staff and employees. How hard is it? Again, we'll go back to the nasty spreadsheet of trying to collect sizes and addresses and where's everybody at. When you want to get everybody in the right gear for an event, you have to collect their sizes, or there's a specific uniform, or there's certain things that people a certain amount of apparel that people need when they actually go to an event. VOPs can help outfit them before the show, right, and get those garments to them. Then it can help you collect attendee information through some sort of pop-up shop. We've even had pop-ups that have surveys tied to them, right? So you can collect data and information, but then also reward that specific customer with some sort of branded merch piece for answering your questions and kind of giving their feedback. Um, there's also the added benefit of drop shipping it to their home or where they live. Now they didn't have to take it with them or try to squeeze it into their suitcase, or God forbid, leave it in their hotel room, right? Leave it behind because they did not have the room. We can drop ship it to those employees. Now they get it later. They're going to be reminded it's a great after the event initiative. So remember, Brian showed you that shop experience, right? You could you could scan a QR code, you can choose your gift, and you can ship. It is as easy as that. It is so simple, and it creates that engagement. But it can hit all three of those things when it comes to the event space. Brian, you want to give the team here some product
Yeah.
options.
Yeah, definitely. So in the event space, like Jamie mentioned, I mean, the whole goal is to eliminate, just leaving all your stuff in the hotel, God forbid, the trash can in the lobby overflowing with swag. You see it all the time. So we want to prevent that. Apparel is still popular. T-shirts for events is really popular. A lot of this, though, for events or trade shows or conferences, as Jamie mentioned, is outfitting the staff, is outfitting the people that are going to the event. You can do it ahead of time, get their sizes, get the gear that the folks need to actually attend the event and work the booth and really have something nice to look at there. We find for this, larger items are really interesting because you give at an event, you give some large merchandise to folks. Maybe it's a large duffel bag, or maybe it's a bulky item like a hard-sided cooler. How is anyone going to return that back to their house? How's anyone going to pack that in their bag? So, keep that in mind for these types of events and trade shows. If you want to do raffle prizes, if you want to do, in booth, um, gifts that you can send people out to the pop-up shop, they can redeem their gift later. Maybe it's a speaker at the event. Maybe you have a keynote speaker that would like to redeem a gift. You can have that outside of the event and it can ship directly to their house. Um, and then we like to add smalls in this. So in-person giveaways, think about it as something that the attendee can grab at the booth that's small, that's easy to put in their bag or their backpack or wherever. It is an easy piece that they can take home with them, but it has a QR code on it, and then that links to the VOP shop for the larger gift or the larger item that they can redeem at a later time. So we also like to keep some in-person products there, some small giveaways that are meaningful, that are easy to carry. But then that's really the delivery system to the VOP shop. And as Jamie mentioned, it's really just linked with that QR code. So you could put that QR code anywhere. It could be on the booth itself. It could be on the banner or the tablecloth, and that goes straight to the VOP shop. So a lot of creative things we can do with events and trade shows using the VOPS technology. Back to you, Jamie.
Yeah. So we had a question. Someone kind of asked if how do we mitigate duplicate ordering or unapproved orders as a part of this process. So let's say, you're offering a benefit to employees. We're using that gifting use case, and a certain number of employees get to order a gift because they hit a certain milestone, right? Big in the financial space, people hit a certain milestone and they're going to be given a gift. We actually have an entire team behind the scenes that manages to the order process, and we can validate all responses behind the scenes. We do a lot of data analysis and checking before we process our orders. Again, remember, we're kind of collecting those orders and placing them all at one time. You get that economies of scale. But also, we can validate if any unauthorized users are ordering and they're not supposed to. Those little people that are sneaking in, trying to get a benefit. But also, the team is there to kind of help make sure that we don't have duplicate orderings. We're utilizing many different types of technology to try to make sure that we process and utilize those orders. But again, it is a team of people that work specifically on our VOPs, which will segue nicely to our next slide, Brian, which is getting started. How can we help you get started? I'm sure many of you have a couple of thoughts, or hopefully we've been able to kind of put a few thought processes in your head regarding how to utilize our VOPS platform, or how you could use this to streamline something in your own business. The simplest way to start is reaching out to your tailor rep or directly to our VOPS team. We'll provide you with that contact information, but your tailor rep is the best person to kind of get the process started. We do have a demo site, so you can check out the experience yourself. There's a link here. Also, if you think you've got a pretty good opportunity, or you want to take a look at a little deeper into the product ideation, we have a product selection category that will showcase a lot of the different high level products that can be utilized, already approved. As you know, at Taylor, we are very passionate about compliance product. And so everything that you see here is already compliance vetted. But there's some great applications and ways to look at some products there. But our team is at the ready to walk you through any of these demos if you want to talk about something specific. Or again, if there are any specific use cases that you want to see might work. We've seen a lot, and we've initiated a lot of different applications for these VOP storefronts. So we're ready and willing to kind of support your needs when it comes to this. Brian, we'll open it, and Joe will open it up to questions. The chat is open. So definitely let us know if you have any specific questions.
Jamie?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to mention this if anyone's going to type a question, but one of the things, I don't know if we touched on this, I think we sort of did, but I just want to clarify. So sometimes this comes up a lot where folks will say to us, well, I don't know if VOPS is the right solution based on my specific situation, my specific event or whatever. And I just want to draw attention to VOPS can be a great solution for a very, very small trade show with not a lot of users jumping on board that you expect to order. We know with our clients that for every VOPS store that's going to be kind of tiny and small, there might be one that it's a lot, there's a lot more of a spotlight on it, but that's the small side of it. But on the large side of it, we've done VOP stores for some of our clients where over 22,000 individuals were going in to order product. And we did that without a hitch. And to Jamie's point, we scrubbed those lists for duplicates. We did all those things and delivered. So it could be very, very small, and this is a great solution. It could also be, a population that's bigger than the hometown you grew up in, and we can handle it too. Either way works.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe. Yeah. We do have a question. Can the VOP shop be reopened once the client has closed to extend the date for additional orders to be placed? The beauty of VOPs is that we can kind of control the on and off switch, if you will. So we certainly can reopen or reinitiate a storefront. Whether we've already placed the order or we have not placed the order would ultimately determine the turn time for product. So can't speak specifically for if the order was placed or not yet, but we certainly, the beauty of these VOPs is that they're easily replicatable, they're easily turned on and off, and so they can be utilized for many different kind of use cases across the across the world, right? Across the use cases. Do we have any other questions or any? It's okay if you don't have questions. Often the next best step is just a short working session to map this to your calendar of moments, and we're here to help you with that. I encourage you to think through what upcoming moments, events, milestones, initiatives would benefit the most of a choice first kind of application. And then also, if you could eliminate any of the manual steps regarding this, it would be, how could we help you with that? Someone just asked if they could receive a copy of the presentation deck. Absolutely. We will place it in the chat and we'll go ahead and email it out to those that participated today. So absolutely, we can do that. Again, if there are any questions, please reach out. Again, we'll share the deck. We really appreciate everyone's time. We wanted to make sure this was clean and consolidated. And we are really appreciative that you guys were able to get on. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.